It's been over a year since I reviewed the Alcatel Pixi 4.5, and since its competitors have dropped in price, while the Pixi is now becoming increasingly hard to source. So, how does it stack up against its rivals, and is the £59 smartphone worth considering? Here's my original review below, with updated pricing details. The Alcatel Pixi 45045X is a 5" quad-core smartphone that comes with 4G connectivity, Android 6 Marshmallow and a microSD card expansion slot. That much isn't unusual. It's the price that sets the eyebrows rising, because this is a usable smartphone that can be bought for a mere £59. That's £100 cheaper than our favorite budget smartphone, the Moto G4. The Pixi 4 comes in different sizes and specifications, but Alcatel hasn't made it easier to distinguish between the different models. There's the Alcatel Pixi 4, the Pixi 5 and the Pixi 6, all of which have different screen sizes and internals. To make it even more confusing, there are also 4G and 3G models of the Pixi 4.5. Here, in reviewing the Alcatel Pixi 45045X 4G-enabled model. Read next, Best Budget Phones to Buy in 2018, Alcatel Pixi 4.5 Review, Price and Competition. You can find the Pixi 4.5 4G for around £55 at Argos, from for around £60 and for around £49 through giffgaff. Its main competitor is the excellent Vodafone Smart Prime 7, a now £50 smartphone, though it is locked to Vodafone's network. Read next, Vodafone Smart Prime 7 Review, a real bargain. Alcatel Pixi 4.5 Review, build quality. The Pixi 5 has a 5" display, which to me is about the right size for media browsing, videos and one-handed operation. However, it is a tad heavy, weighing 148 grams, and a touch thick at 9.5 mm from front to back, so it isn't the most comfortable thing to hold. The front bezels are acceptably thin, with 3 touch capacitive buttons found below the screen. You'll find a micro USB charging and data port at the bottom, volume rocker and power button on the right, plus a 3.5 mm headphone jack at the top of the phone. Image 2 of 5. The rear cover of the phone is made entirely out of plastic, and can be popped off, where you'll find a removable 2000 mAh lithium-ion battery, microSIM and microSD storage slots. I should also mention that the phone's sound quality is acceptable, with its single front-facing speaker delivering acceptable levels of volume. Alcatel Pixi 4.5 Review, display worth a 5" display. You'd expect the phone to have a 720p 720 by 1280 screen, but unfortunately with the Pixi 4 you're left with a rather disappointing 480 by 854 resolution, resulting in a low pixel density of 196 pixels per inch. In comparison, the Vodafone Smart Prime 7 has a 5" 720p screen with a pixel density of 293 pixels per inch. This means you won't be watching those YouTube videos in HD, and you'll be able to see pixelated text when reading the news of this review. Image 1 of 5 with a 356 candelas per square meter brightness. The Pixi 4.5 is bright enough to be used outdoors, but it isn't bright enough to read in blazing sunlight. If you're looking to watch movies on the device, you'll find its screen size acceptable, but the low resolution and 70.6% sRGB coverage mean images look grainy and a touch dull. At maximum brightness, it has an underwhelming 0.40 candelas per square meter black level 2, and the 868:1 contrast ratio isn't wonderful. Given the price, you'd expect something a little below par, but it's quite a bit worse than the Vodafone Smart Prime 7. Also, worth noting is that colors do shift when you view the screen from different angles. Alcatel Pixi 4.5 Review, software. The good news is that the phone comes with Android 6 Marshmallow on board. While this isn't the very latest version of Google's mobile OS, it's still pretty good. Android 6 is easier to use and has a slick interface that's responsive even on the Pixi 4's lowly hardware. Better still, you're not hit with a lot of bloatware from Alcatel or an overweening Android skin. However, it does come pre-installed with Alcatel's One Touch launcher, but this can easily be changed. Other than a handful of Force system apps, the Pixi 4.5 provides a pure Android experience, which is always refreshing to see. As with any stock Android device, however, the entire suite of Google apps, including Maps, Gmail, YouTube and Google Drive among others, is pre-installed. Alcatel Pixi 4.5 review. Performance. The Pixi 4 is a budget phone, and it didn't surprise me to see it perform like one. Housing a quad-core 1 GHz MTK6735M MediaTek processor and a mere 1 GB of RAM, it only managed a score of 416 in iGeekbench for single-core tests and 1173 in the multi-core tests. Putting this into perspective, the Samsung Galaxy J5 managed 555 and 1948 respectively, while the mid-range OnePlus 3T manages an impressive 1903 and 4274 in these tests. This means if you plan on opening many apps and running Chrome with multiple tabs, you'll find yourself frustrated. Gaming results were rather poor, too, with GFX Bench recording a score of 5.4 FPS at native resolution. Again, however, that's nothing out of the ordinary at this price. In comparison, the Vodafone Smart Prime 7 achieved 4 FPS in this test, primarily due to the higher resolution screen placing more strain on its weak graphics chip. Finally, to battery life, which is the Pixi 4's weakest suite. Unlike the Vodafone Smart Prime 7, which was reasonably impressive, the Pixi 4.5 managed only 8 hours 17 minutes. If you're a heavy smartphone owner, you may want to look elsewhere. Alcatel Pixi 4.5 review. Camera. I was also less than impressed with rear-facing 5-megapixel and front-facing 2-megapixel cameras. With or without flash, the Pixi 4 struggled taking acceptable photos, with noise spoiling every shot. Image 5 of 5. When testing its color accuracy, I found the Pixi 4.5 had slightly washed-out colors, while it was also unable to cope with background shadows, unless your object is well lit. To add more concerns about its camera, I was unable to touch to focus, meaning it had a continuous autofocus that can be problematic when trying to record fast-moving objects. Enabling HDR mode improved things a little, but no matter what the conditions, the Pixi 4's photos looked grainy and murky, and to make matters worse, you can touch to focus, meaning you have to rely on the camera software to pick the right spot to focus on. This, I found, was hit and miss. Image taken without HDR. Same image taken with HDR. Brickwork can be seen, colors are more vibrant and there's less image noise. But it's still not great. Colors aren't vibrant, shadows aren't properly depicted, and there's a lot of image noise in low-light shots. Most critically, perhaps, the Pixi 4's camera is significantly worse than the Vodafone Smart Prime 7's. If you're looking to take a lot of pictures and even selfies, I'd suggest investing a little bit more for the Prime 7's superior camera. Alcatel Pixi 4.5 review. Verdict. Image 4 of 5. Despite its shortcomings, the Pixi 4.5 isn't awful, and for £59 it's ludicrously cheap for a 5 inches 4G-enabled smartphone. Performance is respectable for basic tasks, and screen is fine, too. If you're looking to watch a lot of content on your smartphone and enjoy taking photographs, however, I'd suggest investing in the Vodafone Smart Prime 7 instead. That phone offers all these features, has nicer build quality and significantly better battery life and a nicer camera. It used to cost £10 minus 15 more, but since has dropped to around the same price as the Alcatel, making it a significantly better buy.